Good morning, I'm Megan. So normally, most of us when we wake up, we sort of automatically do like what we call pandiculation, right? We'll do a stretch like this, something like that. A lot of times we wait till we sit up to do that. I have a routine that I do every morning where I do some bed stretching. So I'm going to show you that. It's a very short practice, and like I said, you can do it in your pajamas before you even get up. So the first thing I want to tell you is that if you're in your bed, remove your pillows. We want to have your head in a neutral position. Oftentimes when we sleep, we don't realize it, but our back of our neck is long and the throat is closed off because we're sleeping like this. So take your head down, and you can do this on your mat if you're at home, but please try it in your bed. You can also do it at night before you go to bed to release. And first, it's nice surface in the bed. This bed's a little softer than mine, but just shake yourself from side to side. Imagine moving from your bones. Just think of jelly rolling your legs. You can flop your arms. You can do one part at a time or everything together. And then see how wide apart your legs want to be. And then just relax into your bones. Feel your muscles and notice your breath. And then what I usually start with is my feet. So I'm just going to wiggle my toes. Very simple. I can't see them, but I know they're moving and I can feel them. I might just do that 5 or 10 times just for a few moments just to feel them. And I relax my toes, and then I bring my ankles forward, stretching the tops of the ankles, and pull back. And this is acknowledging not only my ankles and my feet, but my lower legs, my calves, and my shins. Just this nice, easy back and forth of the feet. You can do it to your breath, but you don't have to. Just think, we haven't even stepped on the ground yet, right? Hypothetically. So you're waking up your feet. And now I'm going to go in circles with the ankles. What you want to watch for is that your thigh isn't turning your ankles. So your thighs are still as relaxed as when you stop shaking them. You're moving truly from your ankles. Going one direction and then the other. So now you know when you go to step on your feet, what do my feet feel like? Where are they? You can feel where your feet are today. And then relax your feet. So when I go into my knees, when I do the bed version, I usually do both at the same time, but you can also do them one at a time. So for the sake of comfort, I'll do one at a time. I'm going to bend my knees, place my feet on the ground. So I might still have my blankets on normally. Bring just the left leg in, and then I just go in and I extend and release. So nothing fancy, just extending and releasing. If your blankets are getting in the way, then you have to move them out of the way. But just bending in and out of the knee a few times. Say good morning to your knee. And then we'll let that come down while we're working on the left leg. So you could do both at the same time too, right? Oh wow, they already feel different, right and left. And then we go into the hip, and I just do a floppy leg first. So I let my left leg fall to the left, and then I lift it back up, and I got to keep my feet a little wider, and I let my left leg fall to the right. So this is just internal and external rotation of the hip. But all this time you can still be in bed, hopefully not thinking about your day yet. You know, we have this habit of waking up and we line up our day, right? Wait till you're done with this practice. Let yourself be in the practice, to be embodied for these first couple minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it takes you to do this. You can do it in 5 minutes, you can do it in a half an hour. And then once I've done my back and forth with my left leg, I make some circles with the hip. And now I can really feel all the way around the pelvis. Making some nice slow circles. We might switch, go the other direction. And now that I know that left leg's woken up, I'm going to give it a little ride. So I cross the left ankle on the right thigh. So if you had that right leg long, you want to just sit there. And sometimes just sitting here for moments where I begin, but I'll just rock back and forth. Feel my right foot going back and forth. Shoulders still relaxed. So we're working our way up the body. You might keep the right foot grounded, or if you want, you can lift the right foot up and make some little circles. Get a deeper stretch into that low back. You know, we all have a habit of, unfortunately, sleeping in positions that we probably shouldn't, but our body doesn't wake us up. And I always think, isn't that amazing that we might sleep in a position that is causing pain, but we don't feel the pain, right? So that can sometimes be a lesson for us when we do feel pain during the day too. Just guide your awareness to something else. Going in circles. And then I let that rest. You can be still for a few breaths. And before I close it off, I cross the left thigh on top of the right, and I draw my knees towards me and give myself a little hug and a rock. Hug and a rock. And not just, you've got this nice foamy bed underneath you, right? So not just the pelvis, let your shoulders rock back and forth. I've got a wall here to push off on. Just rocking and making circles. Okay, and then come back. We'll finish off that right leg, but first, shake out again. Maybe you feel a little more shaky now. Let your body jelly roll. And take a few relaxed breaths. Feel the two sides of your body. And then we'll do the second side. So I like to keep both knees bent in the morning so my low back is long and relaxed versus keeping this left leg long as I do the right. But I'm just going to go into extension of the knee on the right leg and then drop back down. Don't even need to do it to your breath. Just acknowledge your breath. Think of that beautiful hinged joint and going up and down. You're as relaxed as when you went to bed the night before, right? Still the whole surface is supporting the weight of your body, and the only work to do is to bend in and out of that knee. We'll do one more knee bend. Just acknowledging these lovely muscles in your thigh, big strong muscles that are going to propel you wherever you want to be today. And we widen the feet, and we'll do the internal and external rotation of the right thigh. So I'm going to drop onto the pinky toe side. My right thigh will fall away from my body, and then I come back up, and then I come onto the big toe side, and my right thigh will fall inward towards my left leg. And just going in and out, feeling that through the hip and the thigh. I cheated a little because I actually got out of my pajamas, got into my yoga clothes. But you can be doing this in your pajamas. You can be doing it naked if you sleep naked. What a lovely thing. Caress your skin, feel your skin, right? Skin is your first organ that we can feel and touch and manipulate in very soothing ways. Back and forth. And then I like to make some lovely hip circles with my right leg. So just getting to know yourself from your body, from the point of inside of your body. What does it feel like to take your hip in circles? Did anything tighten up in there while you were sleeping? You can switch and go the opposite direction. You can do more or less of these. Then I cross the ankle, keep it simple so you can remember it. You won't need this video. Cross my ankle. I might just stay there and feel that stretch for a moment, or I can start to rock my left leg from side to side. So giving the right leg a ride on the left. I actually already did these, and I can tell that I already did these. I'd probably be making more groans and funny faces if this was right when I woke up. I cheated a little. And the side to side, and then if it feels okay, if you want a little more strenuous, you can lift the leg up and make some circles. Feel that nice stretch through the back of the right hip, outer hip. Left thigh strong, just circling around. And then coming in for a landing. Before we leave this, cross the back of the right thigh on the front of the left thigh and see if you want to draw your legs in towards your body. You can push the tailbone into your bed and make your back long, push the knees away and make more of a circular motion with the knees. Think of drawing circles on your ceiling with your kneecaps. Or you can draw the legs in and rock side to side and do more of a torso movement. We're going to work our way up into the torso in a moment. rocking side to side. And then uncross and just lay. So hopefully we're not making you want to go back to sleep. We're slowly waking the body. So now we're going to go into the torso, but it's going to look more like we're moving from the legs. But I want you to think of the space from your left hip to your left armpit. And you can add your arm into this too. I like to do full body. So I'm going to do this left side first so you can see it. I'm going to imagine pressing my hip and my foot towards the towards the foot of my bed, and my armpit and my arm towards the head of my bed. So I'm going to reach that left side long and then just let it go. I'm going to reach it long, so separating the hip and the armpit from one another, feeling that nice side stretch into the torso, and then letting go. The other thing you'll notice is as you're stretching the left side, the right side is shortening, reaching, and unfortunately I'm hitting a wall here. I have more space than my bed. Reaching. And your legs are active too. You can press through your heel, reach through your arm, but just also think of making this more of a side body movement, drawing the hip towards the foot of the bed and the armpit towards the back. Just notice that nice side stretch. And you can do it as many times moving, or you can find that end point and hold. Sometimes that feels really nice. One more. And then letting go. You won't be able to see, I'm not going to flip over, but I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. So think of your right hip. You might even touch it, right? Say good morning to your right hip. Feel your pelvis. Right armpit. Feel that whole side body through your waist. And then push into your foot and reach your hand. And then let it go. So that's a really important part of this. Think of the natural way that when we first were sitting on the bed and we take that big stretch and then we release it, that's the pandiculation. So make sure there's time for the full, complete release. Reaching just that right side. It's like you can feel the muscles moving on the bones and the tissues between the skin and the muscle moving, all that fascial tissue stretching out, hydrating, and just coming back to its space of grace. And you'll notice now that I'm doing my right side, you'll see that even though I'm moving from my right side, I'm initiating movement from my right side, it might look as if my left hip is lifting up and my left side body is shortening. But all the movement is coming from the right, yet my left side responds, right? Right, reminding us that we are a whole. We go into the parts to feel the whole. And a little bit more into that. And then letting go. So I typically like to do a little bit of a twist with my torso too, and I do this one in bed. So if you're a side sleeper, you'll like this one. And I'm going to do my right side first so you can see me. I just roll onto my side. I can use my arm as a pillow. Stack my knees together, and I'm not too particular about where they are. I just let them stack together. And then I let this right arm relax. And I'm going to, you got your bed there, right? You're going to roll the right shoulder blade to the ground. Not to the ground, to your bed. Roll it to the bed. And then roll back. So just creating a rotation through the waist and the spine. I usually just leave my right arm really relaxed, at least for the first few. So you can feel the hip rotating, the shoulder coming all the way back. I was wondering what the sound would be like once I muffle my face in the bed. If this feels okay and you want to just take it a little bit further, so a little more not so organic and more in your face, is you can take your right hand to the back of the head and then work your elbow to the bed too. So we're rolling into the twist, feel the rotation, and then coming all the way out. Still in bed, haven't gotten up. Unless you have to pee, then you got up first, and then you did this. But we can do it with stinky breath. We don't have to brush our teeth. There's no excuses, right? We know how sometimes once we get out of bed it's so easy to find things to occupy our time other than our practice. Occupy is a nice way to put it. Procrastinate might be another word. So that's why I find that if I do nothing else for myself during the day, this embodiment practice in the morning before I get out of bed always happens. I know that I had this date with myself before the rest of the day goes on. And just rolling in and out, you might stop and hold if that feels good. So taking that time with yourself. Happy torso. And then I do the other side. So I did my right side first so you could see me. You're going to see my business side. Now I'm going to roll over. But look at how easy it is, right? You know, I often say in my yoga classes, just take your time, roll over like you're still in bed. Well, we are still in bed. So I'm just going to roll over to the other side, stack my knees, rest onto my right side and let my right arm relax. And then work the left shoulder blade towards the bed. You don't have to push it in, just let it roll. Feel how the hip might slide, and you can let your neck follow along. And then come back out of that rotation. Rolling into it. And coming back. And some of these are so simple. And we may not address every part of the body in this bed practice, and it certainly isn't as physical as when I do it on my mat, but that's okay because it's think of it more like a moving meditation. It's as much for your mind and your spirit as it is for your body. And then I like to do the version with my hand behind my head, drop the elbow down, and then roll and open. I feel like my pace is a little bit quicker than it typically would be when I first wake up. You know, when you first wake up, let's be real, like all of what happens is all your fascial tissue tightens up, it dehydrates. So there's some surprises for me when I first go into these postures. You might feel that too, especially if you're used to doing this after walking around for an hour or so. It's different when you do it when you first wake up. There is this rawness, like everything kind of attaches at night while you're sleeping, and it's like taking a scab off your body. That's the way I think of it, is that, you know, you really don't want to just rip that scab off. You want to let it heal. And so instead of ripping all of that stuff, you're just slowly each time going a little bit further. Any of those adhesions that happen at night, we're slowly encouraging them to let go. And you can take a hold in this one too. And just rest. Still haven't gotten out of bed, right? Although your mind may have already gotten out of bed. That's what happens, is your mind gets out of bed and it's already making coffee or planning your day. Try to keep your mind in your practice, really important. And then we'll come out. I have a thing that I do, because after this I go and shower, and I do my meditation and I shower, and it's all part of my morning ritual. And one of the things I remind myself is, who do I have in bed with me? Who's in the shower with me? So obviously I'm not talking about a physical presence, I'm talking about mentally. Can I just be in my body for this first half hour, whatever it is of my day? Because it's something you're doing anyhow. We're not asking you to add extra time into your day. That component of mindfulness when we first wake up, and bringing it into your waking up in bed, and even if you don't do a formal meditation practice in the shower, can you stay in your body, not having other people, other things come into your mind, but this moment right now, what does your body feel like? And then I just move up to my head, and my head's been already moving, but I like to do a really gentle head roll. And the arms, what I typically do with my arms is just reach my arms up Frankenstein style, and I'll lift one arm up and let it drop down. Lift the other arm up and let it drop down. And I just do that. I think of lifting the shoulder blade and reaching. I'll feel tightness here and then let it go. I can reach straight up, or if I want to make more of the rotation, I might just do one arm. So it varies every morning. I might reach with one arm and then take it across a little ways, let my head follow. I take it back and let it fall. Reach up. Feel that back of the shoulder blade opening up, the back of the heart, the upper back. This is all good to make space for your respiration. I tend to sleep in a fetal curl, so my front body is closed down. So when I first breathe, it's like let the light in, let it into all my respiratory muscles. So this helps to open up that upper back a little bit. Just finishing that off. Let your arms rest, let your head rest. And then I always finish with a full body yawn. So this one I typically do to my breath, because if you may notice that when you yawn, you do it to your breath. And yawning is a reset. It's a reset for your nervous system that you do very naturally, as is sighing. So this one will be more programmed and purposeful. Volunteer. And I want to take my whole body into it. I might even clasp my fingers. I'm going to run into the wall here, but I'm going to reach with my arms and reach with my legs. Full body stretching. I might even arch my back a little bit, and it just happens sometimes. Breathing in and out a few times at the top of that yawn, so we don't normally do that in a yawn. And then I'm going to sigh out the mouth. And just drop. Feel the comfort of your bed. Hopefully it's a comfortable bed. I do that 3 times. And as I'm doing this, I have a whole ritual. I try to remember what the day is, what the day of the week, and what the date is. And I say thank you for this day. And let me let go of whatever I don't need from this day. Last one, and let me grab on to everything that I want that brings me closer to my purpose, to my understanding of who I am in this lifetime. And letting go of the rest. That's it. So if you do that, and then you roll over and sit up, and do your standard, oh, I just woke up, which still feels grand, right? You can still do that too, but what a difference. My feet are awake, my legs are awake. It's all ready for this day, whatever it brings me. Thanks for doing some bed yoga with me, and I hope it's something you can incorporate into your world. It's a very realistic practice that doesn't take much time. Peace, joy, love, and light.